these beans and shimmers not look like we're defeated.
No, nothing.
No.
God, cut the music. Cut the music. Lord bless it. I'm trying to do a little hey, a little cha-cha, a little salsa. No, nothing, huh?
Oh, you're doing something.
I scared you. I did. I guess I did.
You
No.
trying to bring that back?
No. Listen, for the whole legality of it, the music's not ours. It's generic Latino, or Hispanic, or whatever the fuck you want to go with today.
Isn't it Latinx now?
Latinx. We're Latinos
That
X.
sounds like something you'd hear in like a club somewhere.
X-Men. We're the Latino X-Men. That's what it is. Or not. Or
Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's Saturday morning, not cartoon edition of Los Tres Maduros. Thank you very much. If you are jumping on board, we got a few people already on with us.
Hey.
I hope you had a great week. Because I was gonna say I hope this is Monday, but I already did that last Wednesday.
At least they made it through the week, hopefully.
Yeah, they made it. You guys made it through the week. We did too.
Yep.
And if you're wondering who are those stunningly charming individuals, I'm going to begin this time immediately to my left because I've been doing the whole right-wing thing apparently.
So you're leaning to the left.
I'm leaning to the left a little bit today.
And you're making up words. Good job.
Yeah, it's like about the third word I made up this morning. In the fantastically sexy-licious Metallica shirt, strapped like a motherfucker with whatever he's got on the side. This is Mike the Man Strigo, fresh out of CIA training grounds. What's up, Mike?
Sup?
Sup?
I can't use the last part of that because I'm not.
Sup, nigga?
There, you.
There you go. I am 2.1%. So. Or so, what do you call that genetic thing that people, Ancestry.com, I did that.
23andMe?
Yeah, that's it pretty much right there. So, but again, understand this, I will never use the other terminology because that's stupid and ignorant. So, that being said, immediately to my almost like ensconced in steel armor right hand here, we got the Terminator apparently, or the Determined Hater. Or he was determined to eat her. I don't know, whatever. Hey, it's Seamus Tully over here.
The Determined Hater.
Yeah, that's it. The Determined Hater. What's up, man? How you doing?
I've been told I need to be less aggressive, but
You know why? You less aggressive? No.
It's cuddly as a cactus.
Yeah, exactly. And you always want to hug a cactus, don't you? Hey, we got James Kirk, Roberto Maldonado. That's his real name. I'm telling it out to the public in case he owes you money. Roberto Maldonado, that's the guy. And he's also, by the way, I don't know if you guys noticed, he is the captain of the USS Enterprise, which is now stationed on permanent leave right there in Puerto Rico. Yeah.
I thought you were going to say he's also 2.1%.
No, well, he may, but that's a completely different issue. Dímelo, mi negro. Oye, ¿qué se cuenta? Todo lo mejor para ti. Sinceramente, esperamos nada más que bendiciones para nuestra gente en Puerto Rico y para todos nuestros latinos que los queremos muchísimos. I did do that in Spanish, by the way. I don't know if you guys caught that or not.
Is that what that was?
That was what it was. Today's smoke for the pleasure is Easy Eddie Stogies. Because you know what? I'm pretty easy myself, and for $50, I'm a lot easier. Although my name's not Eddie. It's if you're wondering.
For an extra 20, it will be, right?
It might be. It was the 80s, Shit, things happen.
It's
I need the money.
Eddie's. Eddie's.
Oh, Eddie's.
Possessive.
Easy Eddie's
there's no apostrophe
Stogies.
there.
Thank you, English major over here. Whatever. Anyways, so long and short of it, this is Duncan Ramon Echevarria, your cigar consigliere, also known as Pretty Damn Easy Duncan every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
Because for 100, I'm an all-nighter, by the way.
Okay, then.
I mean, it takes 100. It doesn't take much more than 100. For 100, I'm all in.
We're getting off into the sand trap over here.
Sand trap. And we got things to do. I'm going to light this guy. Have you guys smoked the Easy Eddies before?
Yes.
I have.
They're very good.
Thoughts, ideas, humdrums, anything?
It's a kind of a medium bodied cigar,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's great. Good flavor. Good burn, everything.
What do you think about it, Terminator?
Terminator.
Same thing. It's easy smokes. Could be on the More like a daily. It's not too expensive.
It's like a $5 cigar, so it's not bad either.
Yeah.
Very, very enjoyable.
Yeah, it's relatively light for me, but I mean,
We do enjoy the fuller bodied stuff.
yeah, like I had a cane yesterday.
That little cane, that's not. I chomped through that.
Yeah, I've got a cane right in here.
Nice.
Really good. I enjoy it.
Mm-hmm.
It hit me. I don't know. I got a cane at home, but I use it for like walking needs.
Yeah, I
And
was gonna
stuff
say,
like
what's it made out of?
that. So, guys, it is Saturday. Let me take this thing off because I'm now dying. By the way, this is a beautiful camel's hair jacket. I don't know if you guys. God Almighty! If anything was going to be that easy.
Did the hair
I mean,
come
that
from the
hard.
camel's toe,
Yeah.
or did it come from the?
Camel toe hair jacket. You're an exciting individual. Did you hear?
Yeah,
Apparently, the camel
No,
was
I
blonde.
knew where he was going with that, but I said, no, let me just, no, actually, camel ball sack hair, which is amazingly softer. It's
I
just
can see that the camel was a blonde.
Yeah, I like blonde camels.
Well, I mean, when you never see sunlight, it's gonna be blonde.
Mikey, God Almighty, twisted. See, they don't respect women. I respect the shit out of women.
You're supposed to be don't respect women.
Like, I respect the crap load out of women. Yeah, to an extent, anyways.
Okay.
So, guys, we did it. Another week is basically in the can right now. We're
Yeah.
done with that.
That's a good analogy.
Pretty much.
Right in the
Or in the
shitter.
shitter.
Especially with 2020.
Yeah. So,
man.
how? Let me begin like this. You're pretty much out on the road, as are you, but you travel a little bit more. How are things out there? What have you seen this week that you're like, man, this was weird. Have you seen anything odd out there that just, wow, this is like shit,
My trailer fell apart yesterday.
His trailer fell apart, so yeah, that's just, it
How
was
the hell does a trailer
Friday
fall apart?
the 13th, that's how.
So I was going to pick up a piece of equipment, and there's the metal ramps that lead to the deck of the trailer. So you drive the machine up the ramp, onto the deck, and you change down. So
Do you put the lotion on the skin at all at any given time? No, okay, just check.
I put the WD-40 on the chains.
Nice, that's sexy right there.
So or PV blaster, whatever. But
Same thing.
Little Astroglide, anything goes right through.
Yeah. So
I don't know. I saw it one time.
the ramp that
In a
the
bad porn.
equipment, the ramp that the equipment
Well, if you pay
drives
for
up.
it, you don't see
It's
it.
cracked.
See, he's interrupting me. I'm not. He's
I know.
interrupting me.
I'll
Stop
find
that
him later.
shit. Stop that. Go ahead.
But the ramp was cracked, so we knew about it, and we were looking at it needs to be fixed, obviously, but it might make it. I got about 5 miles down the road.
Didn't make it.
It did not.
Oh.
I was so the way the chain went to the ramp itself, it was above the crack. So when it cracked and broke off, I was just dragging this giant hunk of fucking
Cracks
metal
and
behind the
dragging.
trailer. So
In my mind, I'm seeing something completely different, but that's me. That's me. Continue.
cracking a steel beam,
Yes, that's exactly what it is. Rod, baby, a big
I said beam. You
beam.
said rod.
Oh well, it's is that different? I mean, no, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Well, rod is cylindrical
Cylindrical. Beam, it's squared
and flat,
and flat,
Or it could be in an eye shape.
or an eye shape.
or an H shape, depending
Or
on
it
the
can
Which way it's laying, yeah.
hit you in the eye, or
in the H.
yes, in the I don't know what we're talking about anymore, but I like my conversation stream a lot better than yours. Continue.
Yeah. So this budget rental truck drove up beside me and was losing his mind. Your fucking trailer fell apart. Like you're dragging me. Like, relax, buddy. I see it. I got it. Don't worry about it.
I'm a professional. I've done this before.
Yeah. Oh, dude. Let me tell you.
It's gonna be all right.
I've had shit fall apart on me, man.
Was anything gonna impact him or hit him or like fall on him?
Sparks, maybe a
Fuck, this is
rocker.
problem
Was he
then.
behind you when it happened?
whatever.
Probably.
Damn,
And, and he probably had to change his shorts because he thought he was going to cut through the windshield.
Oh yeah. I'm sure, man. When that thing fell off, I'm sure he thought his world was ending. Like, snap! Oh God, it's coming right for me.
And the chain catches it. It's like,
Yeah.
People, man. It's like if you know what you're doing. Also,
Well, the key is to not freak out.
Well, yeah, I was saying, you're training. your and work related training also, and plus on top of that, you're from the military as well. So it's not like all of a sudden, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And then if you freak out, that's when the mistakes and all the crap happens.
The key is when things go wrong, the key is not to freak out, but to start planning. I mean, you plan before, and you constantly run scenarios through your head while you're going down the road. So as soon as something happens, you begin the planning process. Like, okay, this happened. I need to do this, this, and this to fix what just happened. And if this doesn't work, I need to do this.
There you go. Professional.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Has this ever happened to you guys? You are fresh out of the shower. You woke up to the mirror, and I prep all the time. In my mind, as I'm walking up to the mirror, I keep thinking, I'm a stallion. I'm a stud. I'm so amazingly hot. I build it all the way up. So when I look at the reality, at least I meet myself halfway. No, is this just me, maybe?
Just you.
Well, see, there's your problem.
Okay, because I build it up.
When you get to the mirror, you don't want to be disappointed.
No, but I want to at least.
So I bring myself down.
Oh, so then you're like, oh, well, not that bad.
Same thing with women. Like I'll tell them it's a certain size, and then I sneak a half inch in there on them.
I believe he's referring to the drinks that he. Oh no, an extra half inch of liquor. Oh, stogies. Yeah, I was like, Lord, God, I'd rather.
It's like I don't say it's a 6.5 by 50. It's like a 4 by 32.
4 by 32, fantastic size, very friendly. It's a Corona. Anybody can smoke a Corona and enjoy the hell out of it.
Hey, listen, 3 inches is hell at 90 miles an hour.
I tell you that the repetitive action of 3 inches. I tell you what, they don't call it an impact drill for nothing.
Yeah.
Where are we going with this?
We're kind of stuck in the
It's
same track
Saturday morning
somewhere.
after a bender.
It's
all right?
Saturday morning after a bender. Oh my God. I saw where you were last night because I told you I saw you.
Oh, it about got real interesting at the bar.
Oh. Any stories that just swim up?
So swim up.
I don't know.
Swim up.
I know.
Good analogy.
Well, here's a buddy of mine, David Gerald. He put a funny meme, whatever the hell it's called, and again, so just bear with me. It's a little spicy. It's a little spicy meme. A bunch of sperms are going up one way and one turns the other, and he goes, "Oh my God, I'm so excited! I hope I'm a boy." And the other one says, "Motherfucker, we're in the goddamn ass of some nigga." I was like, "Wow, that's awesome." So again, I can say that it was a meme. It was posted by a fellow person who, like me, weird mixed heritage, and it was all in joking and in good humor. So don't take that weird shit.
No,
and if you did, that's on you. So anyway, but I thought that was funny. So, okay, continue.
Oh, just last night, some scrawny little dude was hitting on Allie.
That'd be you, because you're pretty.
I mean, I'm scrawny.
But you already got her, so it's not like
some other scrawny little dude.
Okay, good. Continue.
Was hitting on Allie, and I was gonna pound him into the sand.
That was mistake one on his part.
Yeah, and then he tried to talk to me like we're friends.
Hey, I tried to hit on your woman, and but we're buds, right? You're like, no, not really. I'm gonna cut you a little bit, but I'm gonna cut you. What's going on, Edric, my main man? All the best to you. Listen, this is not Saturday morning cartoons, but it is Saturday morning with 3 crazy guys, hopefully that can make everybody out there laugh a little bit and enjoy what's going on in the world, maybe through the eyes of 3 morons or something or other. All the best to you and yours. I hope you had a good week, my brother. Like I said, we made it. It's a Saturday. We can put one more behind us. Let's see what the next few days, the next week brings. But I'm always wishing everybody out there many blessings and keep strong, everybody. Keep strong. And if everything else, remember, laugh a little bit. Just laugh a little bit. That's the best thing we can do.
Well, it all depends on whether it's a sadistic laugh or not.
My laugh is always sadistic.
My main man, yes, absolutely. He said he saw the dog about to come out with that motherfucker. That's why he wanted to be friendly with you. Hey, Edric, imagine some motherfuckers, talking to your girl, and then he turns around and he says, "No, man, we cool, we friends, we buddies," and you're like, "Motherfucker, we ain't friends, we ain't cool, we ain't buddies. Get the fuck to step in from my woman." It's like shit.
Mike was there when I blew him out of the water the final time. Like he came back a second time.
Oh, dude, sucker for punishment. I love it. That guy has no game then. Apparently none whatsoever, dude.
She told me, she's like, he could never. And I'm like, I don't care.
Well,
I still
here's
want
the
to break
thing.
every bone in his body.
I love Alicia. I hate saying old lady. I can't.
It's OL, not OLD.
Well, I know, but still, okay. His girlfriend, significant other, way better half and shit like that. I love her dearly, and one of the things that I've come to respect about her is her independence, her strength as a woman, and the fact that she is I don't take shit kind of attitude from anybody. I love it, but she comes here, and the very first thing is, she goes to hug my mom. She gives me a big old hug. She is like a sweet girl, but she gives herself her place. Like a woman that truly says, "Hey, you're gonna respect me, or you're gonna get an ass whooping."
She's just as aggressive as me.
Which I think you like that
That's
shit.
pretty awesome.
Yeah, he likes that
She's
shit.
a fucking warrior queen. Let me tell
There you
you.
go, man. Mike, let me ask you a quick question. Any place you've been and you watch something kind of like play out like that, and you're like, man, what a fucktard that guy is.
Yeah, kind of like last night.
Oh.
Yeah, he was there for when I blew the kid out of the water for the last time.
Yeah.
Tell you what,
He
guys.
tries to shake my hand as he's walking away, and I'm like, "Fuck you."
Well, I mean, I don't have a lot of like stories like that. I mean, I've had my occasional running at the bars and whatnot. But for example, have you ever been in a place like where the woman, hey, buy me a drink, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but she maybe not be buy me a drink worthy and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I've had a couple of those happen.
Yeah.
You buy
I've seen
her
that before.
one and yourself 3 just to even the
Even it
playing
out.
field.
He says, hold it down, double dog. But it's like, honey, I'll buy you a drink, but how about you walk away and let me get a little drunk, and then we can come back.
It could be
This
anybody
discussion.
you want with the lights off.
This is true. This is true. I mean,
Paper bags work wonders.
I got nothing against anybody, whether you're attractive or unattractive. At the end of the day, shit, I look at myself in the mirror and I'm like, holy fuck, what is your partner doing with you? But I'm very blessed that I have a very beautiful person in my life. As you guys,
Yeah, I'm definitely punching up with Allie. Like,
I saw
I'm hitting
pictures
way
of
above my
you and
weight
your
class.
wife, and you guys made, may she rest in peace. You guys made quite the striking. My mom saw a picture of Mike when he was young, and she was like, "Pero Mike was." Ay, ¿te acuerdas la foto de él cuando era más joven?
Yo no lo
She
conocía.
didn't recognize. Bien atractivo, bien atractivo.
Okay,
She said, very cookie. I have no idea. Apparently, he was a delicious cookie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Chocolate chip or what?
there you go.
Sugar
She
cookie.
says, a very
Sugar
handsome man. So
Yeah.
it's
Yo
funny.
Yo decía, ¿quién será? ¿Y quién
She's
será?
like, who is that? Who is that?
Y conoce a fulano. Y conoce a... ¿Pero quién será?
She did not recognize. If you guys are hearing the little whispering soft voice, she was explaining this. She kept wondering, who is this guy that has all the same friends as she and I? And she goes, but I don't know him. And then when she finally got onto your name, she's like, oh my God, it's Mike Estriguen.
Es por eso, porque él le solicita amistad de esa, pero como yo no sé el inglés, digo, ¿para qué lo voy a poner? Si yo
Yes,
no
and
tengo
she didn't
también-
understand the English part of what Facebook was doing. She said, but she does follow you, Mike, and stuff like that.
Okay.
But it's funny. I think that I respect a person, a man, woman, who's got that strong game, not based on their looks, than the person who is pushing a game because they got no looks and they got no attitude. And it's just, I was like, really, you may need to just not be aggressive because you can't back it up. You don't
That's
have.
why I try to pick women up in the dark. Like, I mean,
Listen,
Bag with holes cut in.
I'm gonna say like this.
I got a silver tongue but a mud face. Let me tell you.
I don't think you guys are in this. I'm gonna say like this. I don't think you guys are like unintelligent by any stretch of the mind or reasoning. But do you guys?
We've
and
had conversations. You
I'm gonna put this out there. It is for everybody. Do you guys find attraction? I personally find somebody attractive. In any aspect that's intelligent. Somebody can hold a conversation,
Oh yeah,
can engage
makes,
me.
That makes that person that much more attractive.
makes things funny that you can go back and forth. I think that is awesome. There's a young lady on Instagram that I have got to one day meet. Her name is Maluhia, and she is her husband is a Marine. She works at a cigar shop. I think she's out of Hawaii.
That sounds like
Super amazing, but all her stuff. If you look at her Instagram, she is a no holds bar, let it all out, everything goes, and her memes and funny stuff. I mean, I pee my pants with her, and I said, I think she's stunning because, first of all, she's attractive, and I find her attractive, but I think everything that she just approaches, both in the pictures of family and her kids and her life and her customers, I think there's a self-assurance of who she is as a person that makes her even more attractive.
It's that confidence.
Yes, that's it. I love that, man. And I see that in Ali a lot. I mean, like literally, she is. This is who I am.
She's got a bachelor's in nursing. She watches like.
She's got great skin, by the way. I can't do it because I'm missing a damn tooth. That's all I can do. She puts the skin on the lotion.
The skin on the lotion?
The lotion. Well, you know what I mean. The lotion.
Remember that whole conversation we had about people and being
I
intelligent?
know. Yeah. Right out the door. Right out the door. Let me go back to drinking damn coffee.
Yeah, that went downhill real quick, didn't it?
The skin on the lotion. Oh, Lord bless it.
You know, I have very similar interests in like.
And she's a damn bike rider too.
Yeah.
And you're building her the chopper's for you.
Well, it's gonna be technically a chopper because I am gonna.
Ladies, isn't that sexy if your man says, "I'm gonna build you a bike"? That's sexy, girls. Come on, you know that's sexy.
Yeah. Her bike. So.
Fucking John Stamos over here, like it's like.
My bike's gonna be what's called a rigid frame, which means there's no suspension.
So you will never need Viagra because it's rigid.
I mean, if I plan on driving it right up, for sure, but no. But it's gonna be a rigid, meaning there's no rear suspension, only front suspension for the front wheel. Okay.
Nice.
So hers is gonna be considered a soft tail because it's gonna have front and rear suspension. So hers is gonna be.
The obvious was not gonna come out of my mouth. I'm not, because that's your woman. That's your woman.
Yeah.
Your woman. You're my man. I love you. You're like my kid. You're my brother. But is it? I'm just saying.
Quite.
That's why there's. You know what? Let me tell you. When these guys put up with my stupidity, that's what makes them the best guys to hang out with, man. That is awesome. So, is this a project that you're thinking sometime through next year? Because it's not.
I mean, I'm
when you
working
build
on,
a bike, it's not like it's not overnight.
It's definitely not going to be done tomorrow. I'm working on getting a frame. Tow truck has a spare frame that I hope I can get from him. And I'd love to build her a 750, something with a little bit more power, but it might end up being a 600 because it's just going to be her on it, so she's not going to have to worry about.
So it's not quite as because I don't know much about bikes, and I don't know what's up, but it's not like not as heavy as your bikes. Or
right, it'll probably weigh half as much as my Harley.
Oh, that's cool.
But of course,
is that more speed though?
Depends. If you put a 750 on it, yes, because obviously the bigger engine,
more
power.
I'm done.
But if you keep the frame small and light, it's gonna be water cooled, so it's gonna be a pretty heavy engine. But yeah, it's just gonna be engine and frame. There's not gonna be any really.
What does water cool mean? I mean, obviously.
Just like your cars.
Here we go. All right, so you have.
So it has a receptacle.
It has a radiator.
Radiator.
All right, so you have a cylinder that the piston moves up and down.
And remember,
right? I'm gonna make it real simple.
Yeah, go ahead.
So you have a cylinder, and the piston moves up and down the cylinder. All right, water cooled would mean that the metal, the area around it, the metal has veins running through it, much like.
In my mind, there's a lot of stuff that's got nothing to do with bikes, but continue.
Veiny
pistons up and down, pumping, all that stuff.
All right.
Continue. Go ahead.
Phallic objects.
Go ahead.
Water flows around the cylinder to keep the cylinder cool as that
Yes.
piston is creating the power for the engine.
Nice. I mean, sure, you guys understood that. I did too.
Your car does the same thing.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna do. Mike, why are you strapped today, Mike? I mean,
I always have.
Why
do you feel?
Yeah, why aren't you?
Well, I'm wearing my orange scarf. I feel
and it magically stops.
Well, I am representing.
Is it like Wonder Woman's bracelets where it's like, pew,
I'm representing the warrior monks of Shaolin. There you go.
No, I don't think so.
No, not at all. I do.
That's a great color.
I'm almost semi-bald.
There is that.
There is that. I've had this thing forever, dude. It's like, I like scarves. You can take them on. I like the whole, when it's cold, layering. I hide the knife in here. And no, I don't do any of that stuff.
You could do that, though.
Of course, I knew he was going to help him.
Well, you're a fan of military weapons.
Huge fan.
Like
huge
swords
fan.
and stuff like that.
I'm thinking maybe Katana from Mortal Kombat had the blade fence. No?
Well, you mentioned hiding a dagger in there. You could use a silk sash and be a rope dart.
Yes,
Well, I mean, he could also put razor blades on the front of the hat.
I could.
Peaky Blinders.
Very picky. Oh yes. Which it still breaks my heart. Peaky Blinders.
That'd be a fucking terrible weapon. Nobody throws a hat at somebody.
No.
You just gotta get close enough to hit him
No.
with it.
You don't know what they do. Okay, so it's old school fighting. Knuckle fighting, beating up, punching. But then they take the name Peaky Blinders. It stands for they slice your eyes out with that blade. Like, so when they come out, after they beat
I'm
the
sure
crap
it
out of you.
works flawlessly in real life.
Well, after they beat the crap out of you and you're on the ground, they take the actual edge and then just slice downwards like that, right through your eye.
They better have 10 motherfuckers.
Well, like I said, the idea is that they do that as a final symbol of, their dominance as
So
the leading
it's a
monster.
finishing move, much
Yeah.
like the Undertaker.
I mean,
And Tombstone.
you're basically beat up on the ground. You're not beginning to have any time up soon. So you could have been like, I'm happy. I can probably get up. But then imagine now, oh, great, I lost an eye now. So that really just sucks. But yeah, that's how their finishing move. The Undertaker. What's the Undertaker's move? Is it the Tombstone?
Tombstone.
Yeah, Tombstone. You just like, bring it. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Yes.
Anyway.
I had someone square up to me. I said, fucking bring it. And they were like, oh, never mind. I mean, just default aggressive.
God, I'm going back to church tomorrow. You're more welcome to join me. It's Catholic. I mean, we welcome everybody. You might explode upon entering.
I'll burst into flame and like.
Wait a minute,
Oh,
do
God.
you still have your firefighter's outfit? You might be all right.
Yeah.
So, anyways, back to the cigars again. We're smoking real quick. The Easy Eddies, Stogies, $5. Real great little cigar. I think for a daily, straight medium,
Yeah.
mild to medium. I would say, depending upon
Yeah.
your strength preference.
This is something like you could take on a drive or something like that. I mean, how there's some cigars where you could smoke while you're working or something like that. This would be something you'd want to like drive with or sit on the porch with. Not necessarily something.
Coffee maybe in the morning. It's like a good little morning cigar with a little bit of flavor, so it's not like uber mild and stuff like that. That's not bad, I brought these in. I think it was about a month or so ago, and we've had to repeat literally 3 times in that span. So that says
it is a good
people
cigar.
are enjoying it. I've been talking a lot lately, and I've not mentioned this to you guys. I'm really thinking about restructuring the way that Doña Noli, the cigar shop, is headed to be more along the lines of like, what it is that you guys enjoy smoking as a daily, as opposed to the idea of the once a week cigar that's a little bit more luxury oriented. I really want to focus on the $3 to $6 range, which is I think every American cigar price point range guy that can do it, whether it's to go play golf, walk the dog, hang out.
Yeah, this would be a good one for a golf course.
Yeah, I think
because you could set it down, hit your ball and everything else, come back and pick it up, and it doesn't change.
Yeah, we don't strongly recommend that you hit your balls. He meant hit the golf ball. Because if you hit your balls,
people knew what I meant.
Oh,
you don't
they
have
did?
to explain everything.
I thought it'd be kind of just fun to just add that.
I mean, was it fun for you?
Yeah, that's all right.
All right.
So again, it's a good cigar. I think it's a good little daily. You're wearing black and white. What's that? Support your local outlaws. Okay, it's great. Never mind. It's a fantastic thing. I caught on to what you're wearing now. You gotta support them. You gotta support everybody. I support my local Catholic chapter. That's what I support. They're badasses.
There's a motorcycle club called Testament. They're a Christian motorcycle club.
Are they like because I found an oxymoron when people told me Christian death metal. Is that sort of like that? Is that like an oxymoron?
Testament was a heavy metal band
Also,
back in the day.
Okay.
And they did slightly Christian, maybe.
No, I don't know. Like so, there's actually an MC club. I mean, I see a lot of motorcycle clubs that are very pro-Christian, which is really great. I've seen some at the swap meet, as a matter of fact.
Yep.
There was a number of them wearing their leathers, which is, again, it's always kind of like shocking because I appreciate anyone who has that love of Christ and anyone who has that love of God, but they look like berserkers. I'm like, okay, man, I'll worship with you. Just don't stomp me into the ground.
So a lot of people are intimidated by the whole biker image, and yes, we're rough individuals, but we're just people. Like, don't disrespect us, and you have nothing to worry about.
What's going on, Michael Carter? Thing. Hi, Seamus. Hey, Mike. Hello, Rico Suave. That will be not me, but I will take Duncan instead.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I agree with that.
Well, I think you should respect anybody until they prove otherwise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But you gotta admit, Mike, and maybe because you and I are not within the bike community.
Right.
Imagine you walk into a place and you see 20 dudes, you
And the
know,
music stops when you walk in.
leather and all this, you know,
Oh, I
you know,
get the eyeballs
the
all
beards
the time.
and the chains
Yeah.
and the, you know, and you got like, you know, there are 20 bikes parked outside. You're like, hi everybody, how are you? Can I buy everybody a round of drinks? You know, it's almost like, you know, there is a visual intimidation, whether you almost want to feel it or not. It happens. I mean, I don't know, but I mean, I've walked into places where I see it. I'm like, maybe just gauge myself a little bit better so that I can, you know, have a good time. Hopefully, not say the wrong thing around the wrong people and go wrong even more. So, but there is that. There is.
I know what you're talking about,
You
and
know.
I wonder if that came from back in the 70s and 80s when the biker culture and Hell's Angels came about, and they were used to actually were security for
They're called
rock
demons, by the way.
concerts.
They're called demons.
and there was that intimidation factor because of that, and a lot of the movies and stuff portrayed them
That's
You
the
know,
biggest problem that we
like
have.
a lot of the
is,
Clint
like,
Eastwood
media.
movies and stuff like that portrayed them as
Point
bad guy.
of order. Point of order. Those are demons.
Oh.
Those are you know, the Hell's Angels.
the Hell's Angels motorcycle group.
Oh no, but you know, because you know they're not really angels anymore. They're demons. You know, fallen in.
What is he talking about?
I don't know. It just
The name,
yeah,
Hell's
the
Angels.
I know what I was talking about, but where's he going?
Hell's Angels,
Are
if you look at it quite
demons.
literally, and you're not talking about the motorcycle
Right.
club, then they are
they're
demons. Yes,
demons.
you're correct.
Literally.
Yes, but I was talking about the motorcycle club.
The MC.
Yes.
Come on. Get with the lingo. Get with the lingo, Mike, like me. MC.
Well, I'm not special like you.
Master of Ceremonies. That's
King of
not
Club.
MC either, right? And Master of Ceremonies, you know, MC. Yo, what's up? I'm the master of no, nothing. Not that kind of MC.
And you walk in there with your turntables and everything.
Yes, and that's when they look at me like, well, all right, let's get this shit started then. Can you imagine at 22? What the fuck, dude? All right, let's get this shit started. Yeah,
You know,
make some music. I'm like, oh god, shit just got real right now because I'm not a DJ. But then I have to,
But you did sleep at a Holiday Inn once, right?
and I read a book.
Okay, so you might be all right.
Back to it, I do agree because I make light of a lot of stuff, but it is slightly intimidating. I'm gonna just be brutally honest. It is a little intimidating when you walk into an environment and you see some pretty rough and rugged looking guys, man. I mean, they could be the nicest guys on earth. They really could.
Mm-hmm.
I've had great experiences in my past with bikers, but that initial impact is like, ooh, hey.
But on the other side of it, there are a lot of doctors and lawyers that ride bikes too. So,
yeah.
they also give us a bad name.
Because it's the reverse, it's the flip. They're not like considered real riders, basically, right?
The rubs, rich urban bikers.
Rubs.
That's literally what just rich
They're
urban
called that.
bikers. They buy a $30,000 motorcycle to ride it twice and look cool on the weekends, and they're nerds. Like
Well, it's funny. In Miami, there was a lot of that. And when you ride around town, let's say on a weekend, and you go by maybe an area that had an outside cafe part or something like that, you'd see 30 beautiful, like gorgeous bikes, predominantly the Harley Davidson style.
Mhm.
And, you see the guys with their leathers or whatnot. But you could tell that there was a different dynamic with some of these groups than with what you're talking about, or like a little more the real deal hardcore, guys who live the lifestyle. I mean, it's funny because Mike said it. I remember going to I'm trying to remember what the hell the name of it is. It's my hometown in Coral Gables, little outdoor cafe, beautiful. I mean, just really nice. And it was packed full of bikers, but they were just doing like a doctor's bike charitable yada yada schmaggity, and they were all they were all these. If you looked at their hands, they'd never seen a day of work, real work a day in their life. I mean, they were all professionals,
White
nurses, and doctors, and very, very high profile people. But they just have the money for these amazing bikes, and then they just band together. I thought it was kind of cool, but I laughed. I remember this was years ago, but I laughed because I was like, man, if like a real group of bikers came in here, they would kick them all out of here. They're like, yeah, you don't need to go. Y'all gotta go right now.
Not exactly. You
No,
just
that's not
get
necessarily
looked
going
at
to happen.
sideways. You mean
Look at these scrubs. What do you call them? Rubs.
nerds?
Yeah.
But I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love to have a brand new road glide.
That's big. How much is that? How much is that?
Like 30, 35, almost $40,000, depending on.
That's like a down
That's
payment
almost as
on
much
a
as
house.
a truck.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, I'd love to have a brand new road glide. But honestly, I'd like to build a motorcycle first. I was talking to a buddy of mine in my Marine unit. He said he noticed because he's looking at getting a motorcycle too. So I was helping him. So I was like, what kind of riding are you gonna do? Like, you gonna have your wife on the back, this and that, and trying to help him pick which bike, which style will be best for him. But ultimately, the best bike is the one that feels right for you. Like, the best thing you can do is go sit on a bunch of them, test ride them if you can, but know what kind of riding you're gonna do, and know the kind of bike you want by testing them out and like going to different places. But he said, I noticed a lot of serious bikers and motorcycle enthusiasts would rather build their own bike. And he's right. Like, when me and Tow Truck finished up that Honda, I mean, it stressed me out so much because I couldn't quite figure out what was wrong because it was electrical. But I mean, when I got it done, I was like, that was freaking great. Now I want to build 3 more. But I also have my Springer to ride while I'm building another one. When I had my Buell, it was, up and down all the time. Like, oh, I can't ride today because I can't, it won't run, whatever.
Well, you bring up a really interesting point in reference to when you're talking to people about bike riding and bikes in general. And I use the same philosophy when I approach cigars. What's the best cigar? And I said, well, dude, the best cigar is whatever you're smoking at that moment that you're enjoying. But that being said, there is a wonderful amount of different cigar brands and blends out there. And what I was recommending to everybody is like, just start experimenting. See by smoking different things, what calls out to you, whether it's the price or the color or the whatever it is, and experiment. See which ones you feel comfortable with, which ones speak to you the best. As you said, what are you looking for?
Don't be afraid to try.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to try. It's like if a person is looking to buy a bike, your advice, it's damn spot on. Go out there, look at all of them, sit on them, get a feel, I guess arm reach, comfort level.
Yeah, how you want your handlebars high,
weight,
whatever.
all of that stuff. I'm assuming, that's great advice, and that is the best way to get into also that community as well. Really see what's out there.
You should also start small. Like, don't.
I tell her that all the time. Start small, honey.
That's why she started with me. But don't go out and buy your dream bike right away, because you're gonna crash your bike. You're gonna drop it.
Well, your dream bike, what you think might be a dream bike, correct me if I'm wrong, may not be the dream bike once you've had it for 3, 4, 5 months.
Right. I mean, I've seen people go from riding crotch rockets to getting a Harley, or riding Harley going to crotch rockets. Because
let me tell you this, my dream bike, and I'm not a rider, but I'm a huge fan because of the beauty aspect of it, of that type of bike, is the Indians. I think that they're absolutely beautiful. They look like a very classic. Exactly. So that's my dream bike, but I cannot possibly go out and buy that dream bike for many reasons. 1, I've never ridden a bike a day in my life. 2, I don't even know if I would be comfortable enough, because I like it or I think it's gorgeous, or it's my dream. I don't think necessarily that I would be able to appreciate that. For example, in case in point, a fantastic Davidoff Opus X Padron. If you've never smoked a cigar in your life, and I handed you that, any one of those cigars,
you don't have a gauge.
Right.
Well, not only that, but interestingly enough, let's say that you say, I'm going to smoke this Opus X, and you're like, oh my God, I don't like it. It tastes horrible. My first cigar was an Opus X. and it made me throw up. And I thought it was the worst thing ever, and I didn't like it. And I was
But
like,
did you made the beginner mistake of saying I want this because I heard it's
yeah,
the best.
no,
one.
not even that. It was even stupider than that. I literally walked in and I said, I want the best, most expensive cigar you got. And that branded me loser right there.
Yep.
And that guy said, that's the one.
Yep.
Yeah, big
There you
nerd.
go. Let's give him it. Hey, let's give him his card. Here's your sign.
Mm,
That's the one that's going to walk out of here. And again, at the time,
But you made his day because he made that.
oh
sale.
yeah, no,
Exactly.
it was
He's like, I got one.
Mike Carter will appreciate it because he provided us with the same cigar I actually smoked with you guys.
Mhm.
I smoked 20 plus years ago when Opus first came out. They had these little neat tins. It was a Robusto, a Toro, and a Churchill, so on and so forth. So the Churchill, the Robusto alone, that was $100. That was like $99. So each cigar was like in there like 30 some odd dollars. Let's call that. And that guy pegged me immediately. Yeah, you're right. I made his day. He said, if I get 3 more of these losers in here, shit, that's
Good.
great.
Yeah, that's my week. Huh?
There you
Yeah,
go.
good.
But it was not understanding and appreciating that, which when I look at anything, like for example, cars, I was having this discussion with a young man. He goes to NTI. I think that's the NASCAR school.
Yeah.
mhm.
We said, I like Lamborghinis. I think they're beautiful. They're amazing to look at. I love.
Depends on the year, but yeah.
Well, and then I said, and I like.
Yeah, that was the one that everybody grew up on.
Yeah.
In the 80s.
Magnum PI.
Let me say it like
No,
this.
that was a Ferrari.
Testarossa. Yeah.
I
No, it
love
was not a
those
Testarossa.
beautiful,
It
expensive
was,
cars.
it was a Ferrari 308,
But I
You
can't
sure?
appreciate that.
100%.
It
Well,
was. I have no idea what the fuck.
It's
you're
the
talking
80s.
about. But like for example, just because I love those cars, like I saw the Karma, the Fisker. All these
Yeah.
amazing. The Mercedes Benz, McLaren. All of these
Yeah.
amazing.
Gold Wing.
Yeah.
64 Gold Wing.
Think about that. I honestly I couldn't appreciate it because one, I don't know enough maybe about that car to appreciate it. I don't know enough about even why that car cost that much to appreciate it. So I couldn't.
I
That's
think
why.
you could though, because you have enough world experience where you. If we're going to automobiles, you drive a Chevy Aveo.
I
Not
love
bad car,
Chevy. This segment sponsored not by Chevy.
but it gets you from A to B, reliable, good
32
car, right?
gallons to the mile.
Right.
That's not bad. Or 32 miles
Economic.
a gallon.
Again?
Now,
Yeah,
if I were to sit you in a Ferrari or a Mercedes right now,
I'd be lost.
I
Honestly,
don't think you would. I think you would definitely be able to appreciate. But you've driven.
Okay,
The feel
so-
would be completely
You've had
different.
like
So-
Land Rovers, right? Or,
So let me flip that script. I think what I'm saying is I wouldn't appreciate it because I would approach it like this. Those kind of cars to me are like crotch rockets, very sleek, very modern,
Mhm.
very pretty.
Mhm.
I think I'm more the Indian and classic Harleys because I appreciate the beauty of those lines. For
Right.
example, now you said I've sat inside a Rolls Royce Black Phantom, which is about $300,000.
Mhm.
I've been driven in one. I've had the pleasure of driving one, and I'll tell you what happened. I found it more stressful and horrible.
Because
to
of the price
drive.
of it, because you're afraid you're going to damage it.
Whereas when I was driven in it, I said, "I'm good."
Mhm.
And I
You
think
take all that responsibility out of it.
I briefly had for about a year a Range Rover HSE Turbo, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. I thought it was really, really great. I've had the pleasure of having certain cars, but I think to me it's these very uber modern, sleek, like amazing looking, like whatever, like they're like starships. I can't. I'm not a
the
fan of that.
technology is unbelievable.
Yeah, so I'd rather go a little bit more old school,
Mhm.
and still look classy in that than like I said, I like Rogelio's little Fiat Alfa Romeo. Yeah, I think that's really cool.
He's
It
gonna
is
cut
cool.
you now that they call it.
Yeah, and I call it a Fiat.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rogelio. I'm sorry.
No, but it's like that Plymouth sedan that I was telling you about earlier. I really think you like that car because, first of all, you've seen the HHR. Well,
Yeah.
you own one.
Yeah,
Think about that, but
on a larger scale, which is I think the original design.
about the same size. Maybe a little
Wasn't that
bigger.
the original design concept that was taken for the HHR?
No, the HHR was designed after the Chevy Suburban.
The old
Yeah,
Chevy
yeah.
Suburban.
Oh wow. Really?
Delivery truck.
I
Yeah.
thought it was
Yeah.
something that was taken from a much bigger concept and then downside.
Well, the Chevy Suburbans were pretty big. It was Suburban delivery, which had like the old milk trucks.
Okay, so yeah.
It's like a '60s style milk truck. Well, the Plymouth delivery, it doesn't have the windows on the side, so it's all metal.
Okay,
painted.
okay, yeah.
Mhm.
We
But-
saw one like that.
Right.
Remember
Mhm.
some time ago that it was all like no windows and
Yeah.
I said, man, I love that.
What you wanted to build. What
Yeah.
you were looking
That
at.
was like
for
what, like
building, yeah.
$2-3 something like that.
Yeah. So this car, well, sedan, is along the same lines, a little over $9,000, or no, it's 89.
Donations are being
89,
accepted, so
yeah.
I'm saying donations are being
So
accepted. So
It's probably about $9,000 when all the taxes are done like that, but it's done.
It's
Just
like
turn the key and go.
Yeah, exactly.
done.
But I
Oh,
mean,
again, it's
you
done.
like you said, you're more of a classic styling person, and I
Yeah.
think would appreciate that more than.
Oh, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I
Like
mean,
the old 50 style Chevys and stuff like that. Those lines and everything like that.
Yeah.
That makes me
more character.
beautiful.
that's why I love 40s and 50s style cars. There's
I
just
miss
something
the
that's
50s.
really, really beautiful about that. And I think also when I watch like certain shows or series that I like, I like a little bit more of the period stuff
Mhm.
because I love watching all those old cars and the way that people. I mean, maybe I'm an old soul. Who the fuck knows? You know, not to get into that existential bullshit,
Well, I
but
mean, back then, cars were actually set up as like pieces of art.
mhm.
With
Yeah.
the lines and everything else, and the wings and the fins and all that
Who was
stuff.
the famous? Was it Oldsmobile that had those really famous hood ornaments that had the really beautiful ones?
Well, there was Packard.
Packard,
had one. Chevy
yeah.
had a fancy hood ornament. Cadillac
Mhm.
did.
Those are actually big collectibles too. I mean, there's people who look for those things.
So, Pontiac also had the Chieftain. So it was an Indian head with a big
Native
chrome-
American, by the way, that's what we call it. Politically correct.
He's staying the name of the car. Calm down.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So
No, why are you being so politically correct?
it had a Native American.
Got to go have fun, guys, and smoke. Thank you very much, Mike. I appreciate it, dude.
Have a good day.
As always, God bless you,
See you,
brother.
buddy. But yeah, so it had a Native American
Yeah, there we go.
head that was actually a light. It was a transparent amber colored light, about the color of his water bottle.
I think
And
I've
then it had a
seen
big
something like
chrome
that.
line
Yeah,
that went down
all
the
the
hood.
way down the
Mhm.
center. Yes.
So what I want to do is I want to take that hood ornament and
Put on
put
the
it
gas-
on a motorcycle gas tank.
Yep. We
But
talked
would
about
it be
this before.
lost? I think so. I remember, but like on the handlebar area, because would it be lost towards the front because all the gear or
Not
dials?
if you lift the tank.
Okay,
So
The tank
normally
sits above
you
the
have
handlebars.
the backbone of the motorcycle.
right.
That is the backbone of the frame. Well, the tank fits down over it and goes around and covers up part of the engine. Well, when you lift the tank, it'll actually bring it above the risers of
On
the
that
handlebar.
style of bike that you want to look to build for Alley, I like that because since the front headlight is almost like parallel or horizontal
Mhm.
to the rest of the bike.
Mhm.
On a type of tank like that, I think something like that would be really
But her-
really neat.
The tank that I'm going to build for her is going to be a little bit different. It's going to be it's what's called a scalloped tank. So you have the top line, right?
Mhm.
But the top line of the tank is going to meet the front edge. It's going to curve back this way,
Gotcha.
and then the sides are going to be scalloped in also.
Is there a particular reason? Or is that just aesthetics for
It's
the
the
style of
style.
the bike?
Yeah.
Okay,
A
cool.
lot of it is looks.
Not bad, not bad. I know you had mentioned to me about going back out to the drag strip today. I made a promise to my mom.
He's got to go buy shoes. He's going to get himself
I'm
a
going
new set
to
of
be
heels.
brutally honest with you guys. And take this for what it is. My mom has been complaining about her feet a lot lately, and
Dr. Scholl's inserts.
well, it's I think the front of the shoes that she's got
shape.
as well. I said, let's just go get you. Sometimes, I'd rather always go with comfort rather than a lot of stuff, particularly the older I get. But I said, you know what? Let's just get you a couple of nice, like daily shoes that she can be here or be out in her house, and then maybe a nice pair of shoes to go out for. Like if she's got a little something to go for the church that also is comfortable. So, and it's been a while, so I did tell her I'm gonna spend today to look for that. But let me ask you though, now, the drag strip thing, is that like, because you guys will know, is that like in every week that happens?
Not every weekend,
No?
but fairly often. It's probably going to happen a little bit more now that we're going to get into
Because
winter.
it's cars. Cars are like, people are not like exposing themselves to that, to the wind or not. But even last Saturday was pretty hot. But it does.
Well, here's the thing. Hot rods run better in the
In
cold.
In cold weather. Oh, okay.
Because
I didn't
an
know
engine is nothing but an air pump.
that. Okay.
That's turning a drive shaft. That's turning rear wheels.
So then less bikes will be going out in the winter and
No.
more cars?
Not always.
No.
But the engine itself, when you condense air, you make air colder, it gets smaller. You can compress it more. So you
Gotcha.
can fit more air into the cylinder. So more air you put into the cylinder, the more fuel you can put into the cylinder, and the bigger the explosion, which means the faster that engine will turn, the faster you'll get down the track.
I just learned something today. Kevin, the young lady who works there, that's a good friend of his, I'm going to coordinate with the two of them so that I am made aware of what their schedule is.
You can get
A thing?
their calendar, yeah.
I mean, well, if you guys can get this to me before, not a problem. If not, I know Kevin is going to put me in touch with Ann, like her personal number, so that I can call her, so that I really want to be a part of that because I think it's fun.
I think you should go with me and Mike later tonight around 6 or 7.
And I think that
Just
my
for a couple
partner
of runs.
would slice my nutsack off and
Bring
say,
it with
"Here you
you.
go, honey."
Bring it with you.
Maybe. I'm not going to make a promise. I'm really not.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get him into drag cars.
I know. And,
Like, you
yeah.
feel the cars go down the
Oh,
track. Like, we saw mostly motorcycles the last time we were there.
That was also a test and tune day.
Right. And there's like 1 or 2 of the big cars. Right. Like, today, it's going to be all the big cars.
All
I
the
mean,
big cars.
1,000 horsepower plus.
Five
yeah.
and 6 seconds.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Close to 200 miles an hour.
Give or take, possibly.
Yeah.
At least 150 miles
At
an hour.
least. Are you going to participate?
What?
In
In the race?
yeah. No, why
Yeah,
not?
I mean,
it's
I'll
like
go
a PT
watch.
Cruiser.
Oh.
I'll probably go watch for a little while anyway.
So this is
But then I gotta-
from
but then I
4
gotta go
o'clock
to the
onwards. That's when it starts. From what I saw on today's swap meet thing or whatever. Because that's also the other thing. They have a great swap meet, which is open to anybody.
Webb Road
Yeah.
Flea Market every weekend.
Where
Webb Road. It's over. It's closer to Concord.
is that? Like also another drag strip or just?
No, it's
No,
just
it's
a
just a-
giant flea market
Yeah.
every weekend, Saturday, Sunday,
Oh, I didn't know that.
every
Yeah,
weekend.
they do the same thing over across from Little Caesars
White
on
Oaks.
115.
White Oaks Flea Market. Every
Well, I'll
weekend.
tell you what, guys. I'm looking for maybe some things on Saturdays. Doesn't mean that I'm going to be doing something every Saturday. But if you guys come up with something that again, the drag. I'm not going to promise for today. Honestly, I'm not. But if I can, I'll let you guys know. That being said, we can coordinate. Hey, maybe every other Saturday we can find a new location and head on out and maybe
Are
just have some
we?
fun. Yes, this month we are doing a. Hold on a second. Let me say, we are doing a bike night this month, and that's one of the things that I'm trying to coordinate with Kevin Thompson's friend, Miss Ann. Forgot what her
Miss
last
Ann.
Miss Ann. There you go, Miss Ann.
That works.
She is with a motorcycle club that is all about first responders.
Mhm.
So we definitely want to invite them over for our bike night. It's going to be, I think, on the 28th, which is the
Day after
Saturday.
Thanksgiving.
That's the Saturday after.
It's the
Thanksgiving.
Saturday after Thanksgiving, so
Yeah.
Thanksgiving being Thursday. So it'll be right. If you guys are in town, everybody's going to be welcome.
I may or may not be here.
Why not?
Because I'm going to be in Maryland for Thanksgiving.
Do you have to?
Yeah, I do.
Is it going to be 10 people or less?
I don't know.
I'm just saying.
I mean, Maryland has different rules.
Different rules. Maryland says the hell with it all. Let's just,
No,
no.
they're probably closed. Everything too. I don't know.
But I'm trying to see.
But that's all right. They're
we can
planning
pick
on
back up
shutting
on
everything
it.
down for 4 to 6 weeks this coming year.
I don't know if on December because it is going to be right in between dab smack, Christmas and the end of the year.
Well, you
do
can
that.
do it. You could do it the week before all that.
That's actually not a bad idea. The week before
I
Christmas.
have those every once in a while, and I managed not to hurt myself.
You're awesome. Now he's got some very important things he wants to throw my way right now. What is it? What's up?
Boxing.
Yeah.
Boxing.
I'm looking at
What have they said
Good.
about the date?
the date is going to be November 28th. All right.
Nice.
Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr.
Mike Tyson takes
That's
it.
that's a Saturday after
Saturday.
Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Round two. Mike Tyson takes it. Round 2.
No way.
No, you sure?
Well, so listen to this.
Okay, round 3.
Mike Tyson.
I'll give you one more round.
Mike Tyson, age 54. Roy Jones Jr., age 51.
Nice.
Mike Tyson fights 58. Roy Jones Jr., 75 fights. Tyson, 50 wins. Jones Jr., 66 wins. So
How many
Tyson
by
has
straight knockouts?
44 knockouts for Tyson, 47 for Roy Jones Jr.
The average in that case, though, actually favors Mike because of the amount. He's got less fights, but more of them have been by straight knockouts.
Right, but he also has less losses than Roy Jones Jr., but Roy Jones Jr. has 75 fights and 9 losses. Tyson
So
has
you can have
50.
a guy who's fought 100 times and he's won 60 times. You got a guy who's fought 60 times and he's won 50. So I'm gonna still give my money to the guy who's only lost 10 times.
Now, here's the kicker.
Go ahead, kicker hard.
Mike Tyson's last fight was in June of 2005. Roy Jones Jr. was in February 2018.
Nice.
So that gap in practice and in
It'll be a lot harder for him to get prepared.
maybe not hard to get prepared, but you lose a little bit of that ring knowledge. Like,
But that's what I mean in the preparation. He's
the
not
mental preparation.
right.
You're not in that combat situation near, like, closer to the date. So Roy Jones, his last fight, February 2018, it's been less time, so he's still got
A little something.
well, he's still got more. Like, he knows the feeling a little more than Tyson.
Tyson said 2005. You said.
Yes, June 2005.
Yeah, so that was
14 years ago.
15 years ago ish.
Yeah. So Mike Tyson is 5'10", and Roy Jones is 5'1". So there's
He's that short?
Mhm.
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know. Oh, Tyson's gonna kill him.
Who's got the longer reach?
Tyson.
no, Roy Jones.
Really? What is
Tyson-
it, like a damn gorilla, like a chimpanzee or
Yeah.
something? Damn,
So
like-
Tyson has a 71-inch reach, and Roy Jones has 74. So not much, but a little bit more.
What's the weights on them? Did it show? Did it say?
It didn't say the weight, but that's not gonna be till the weigh-in also.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm still I don't know why, but I'm still sticking to my guns on Tyson. I honestly, again, I think Tyson's aggressivity is going to step up. It's going to really bring back a little bit of that dominant character that he had when he stepped into the ring. A lot of and you know this because everybody has said this. Tyson did not step into the ring to fight you. Tyson stepped into the ring to knock you the crap out.
he was famously quoted as saying, "If I don't kill him, it doesn't count."
You know, so I mean, it's like he sort of he foregoes finesse for power. You know, now where I will give it to the negative side of that is if he is pushed beyond his peak, then he is going to be suffering. Then I mean, he's going to have to play a different game. Then
Right. I mean, his fight arc, where he reaches peak power is shorter than
Jones.
somebody who has more finesse. And
What are the ages again on them?
Tyson is 54,
and
Jones
Royce
Jr.
is 51. Okay.
so there's 3
Yeah,
years.
it's not, which it can be a huge. It can be a huge advantage. You know, it can be a huge advantage. 3 years, it can be.
And listen to this: despite losing 140 pounds, Mike Tyson will still outweigh his opponent. So Mike Tyson expects to be around 240,
Jesus Christ.
and Roy Jones Jr. is expected to be around 200.
So again, I'm not because I'm using that as an example, but think about this: just because you fought, you've been in the ring,
Mm-hmm.
you drop accidentally in the middle of an extra 40 pounds coming at you, and I'm telling you, that sledgehammer. Jones Jr. is going to have to play also a very solid defensive game to be able to not get hit. Because if he does get hit, that extra 40 pounds, I think, is going to give a phenomenal edge to Tyson right there. If he hits him once, that's going to rock him. He's going to just go right at him on him.
But this goes back to the experience. So Roy Jones,
Stopped fighting 2 years ago. I know.
I mean, he knows what it's going to feel like when he gets hit by those big bombs. However, him being lighter, he's just going to get out of the way.
Well, and again, that's fine. So the other game that Tyson can play is this guy's moving so much more than I am.
Mm-hmm.
Let me play a little bit of a waiting game.
You're gonna It's better
and
for
that's not
Roy
his
Jones.
strength, and that's not his strength because he's not a technical fighter. Like I said, we go back to it.
Mhm.
He's an animal. He's going to step in to kill him as quickly as possible, and that's going to offset that waiting game, which is more on the technical side of things. And that the plus is then for Jones Jr.
To just
Well,
kind of wait him out.
I can
tire
outpace him
Yeah.
and still not have to, get tired outpacing him.
So the advice that was given to me by my former coach was, if he's taller than you, get inside.
Yeah,
If he's
absolutely.
shorter than you, run. And also, if he's heavier than you, make him move around. Because big
Hey, I'm a
muscles,
fat ass dude. If I start moving too much, I'm dead. I'm
Yeah,
dead.
listen.
I'm dead.
big muscles take a lot of oxygen to move around the ring.
Yeah. So
Time out.
it's actually funny because a lot of times we see these very muscular fighters and we forget. Unless you're like Ivan Drago, who's been pumped full of steroids and whatever shit they put you, dude, you're gonna tire because you have a lot of weight that you're moving, and the oxygen amount that your muscles are eating up is incalculable at that time.
Mhm.
So yeah, you're strong and you're big and you're beefy and you got power. You're gonna be facing a lot of different other obstacles as well that your body is gonna work against you.
Mhm.
The guy who is a little bit lighter, in this case Jones Jr., doesn't have that. But I'm a fan of Tyson. I love him.
Right. I mean, you have to respect
yeah.
Mike Tyson.
Yeah,
But
there's a certain amount of respect, yes.
bottom line, these guys are not amateurs.
No, and that's
And
what makes
they
it
are
fun to
not
watch
morons.
too. No, I think there is also, and I would like to see that. I think there's going to also be a great side to Tyson that maybe he'll bring a slightly more technical aspect, hopefully, to the game than he ever had before because his age, his lack of being in the ring. So
Could very
hopefully
well be.
he'll say, hey, you know what? Maybe I need to play a more intellectual game here rather than just a berserker game.
Mhm.
But again, that's I'm looking forward to that, man.
So I would like to see. Do you know who Teddy Atlas is?
I mean, who doesn't? That was the guy who was in the little comic books. Remember, he would kick sand in the people's faces, and then the little skinny guy would become big, muscular. So he said, "I learned it from Teddy Atlas."
If you say so.
No, that was just okay.
So Teddy Atlas.
Wrong.
Teddy Atlas trained Mike Tyson in his early career when he was just coming up.
So he's not on comic
with-
books.
So Customado was his lead trainer. Teddy Atlas was, his second and all that. And, they trained Mike Tyson when he was coming up. So I'm interested to see what Teddy Atlas is going to say about the fight.
Is he still training him or no?
No. Teddy Atlas, he no longer trains people, I don't think.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. I think it's going to be an exciting match. I think it's going to be an exciting boxing match. I grew up watching boxing with my old man, so it's one of the few. When people ask me, man, what sports you like? I go, I don't know much about sports, but I do understand boxing. It is so old, man. You're talking back beyond the time of the Greeks. I mean, it's just something about interesting two people getting in a ring and everything else just falls by the wayside, and it's just two opponents, and they go to town, and the best man stands at the end. There's something pure about that pugilist mentality right there, and I respect that a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing what Mike does. I'm looking forward to see what Roy Jones Jr. does as well. Guys, if you don't mind, we can begin sort of the wrap up, and we can go from there. Did you find anything, or
I found a little bit.
just a little bit?
Teddy Atlas had a stern warning for
Or
Jones.
so Alicia says.
And Teddy Atlas says, like I said, I've been to exhibitions with Mike Tyson, and they didn't end well for the other guy. He added, it was an exhibition of how fast he could hit you on the chin and knock you dead.
Is there a but? It feels like almost there's a but.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. Both guys appear to be training hard ahead of the next month at the moment. And if nothing else, it will draw a lot of eyes on the sport of boxing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me ask you: do you think that? And again, because I don't know, it's not that it's unheard of, but it's fairly unheard of that there's going to be a continuance beyond for these two guys. I mean, because
Mike Tyson,
they are beyond their like, hey, now you can go back in and have a fantastic career. I mean, they're beyond that point.
Yeah.
This should be looked at more like, what an experience! This was fantastic. There may be a rematch, but that should be that. That's what I would call it at. But it's not like, hey, they're coming back.
No. So what Mike Tyson did was he started his own promotional company for athletes, not just boxing, but basketball, baseball,
Right.
soccer, all this, for guys that are over the hill, where scouts think they're past their prime, but they still have a little bit left in the tank. Right?
Gotcha.
So it is going to be mainly like exhibition, games and bouts and stuff like that for like an old timers club.
I think that's actually not a bad thing. I think we all want to have a chance to relive our golden years, our golden glory
Yeah,
days.
I can see that.
I think there's a market for that. That he might be promoting something like that in the future. Hey, we're going to bring somebody out of retirement. Anuncard de la Hoya. I mean, I would love to see something come back with that guy. I mean, what an amazing fighter as well.
Mhm.
I think that would be something for the future. Exhibition fights of like the great ones, coming back in maybe for one good fight, and let's see what they are still capable of doing at that age.
I'd love to see if like
I was a fan of Anuncard de la Hoya.
Yeah.
I loved him.
I'd like to see if the Mujahideen or the Taliban want a rematch in Fallujah. That'd be pretty dope to see.
What a
Send me to
fucktard.
Iraq.
Anyways, listen.
Yeah, on that note,
Everybody, thank you very much. As you can see, the show today was all over the place, but it's exactly what that's all about. Hopefully, you laughed a little bit. It's definitely not the Saturday morning cartoons.
Saturday morning funhouse.
Wrap up on the cigars, guys. Anything?
still a great cigar.
Still smoking again?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, I've had probably 2 or 3 of these since you got them in.
I've actually, I think, smoked a little bit faster than you guys. That's not normal for me, but I actually very enjoyable.
I find it's solid flavor, but
Mhm.
it's continuous throughout. It doesn't really change a whole lot. You still get the same like.
But I don't think it's
nuttiness.
like a straight one note. It's like you got a couple of different things that are in there.
It might go up a half a note
Because
or
I
down a half a
hate
note.
just like, all I got was this. I think the cigar.
Well, it keeps you interested.
Mhm.
You know what? Real quick before I let go, Kerry had a really great guest, Gustavo from GFP Cigars, on his show the other day, and I was watching it. One of the things that because I commented on it, I said, I don't like one note cigars. I'm famous for starting a cigar, and if literally after that first third, nothing has happened. Okay, I put the cigar down and I'm done with that. Or if I'm like already at second, third, and there's still nothing. Here, I'll tell you what I like about this cigar. It's simple. It's a $5 cigar, but I picked up a little nuance of spice. Not heavy, but it's got a little zing right around the lips. I pick up one of the things that I like, and that is a little dryness, almost akin to when you're having like a what they call a dry martini, which is a nice cocktail, but it dries out your mouth as you're drinking it and makes you want to drink a little bit more, because it's the idea of, oh my god, I want to re-wet my palate. So I like the cigar. It's not a wet cigar, like you're like, oh my god, extra fucking saliva and shit like that. I do like that. So there's 2 things right there that immediately make me happy about the cigar. Of course, the price is number 3. The other one is, I would say, there's a slight, and I'm not saying like citrus, but there's a tanginess, and I love a little something that hits the inner cheek, or at least the side of the tongue a little bit. Beyond that, I'm not getting a lot. I'm not getting a lot of complex flavors. Like I said, it's tobacco.
Did you get any coffee out of it?
I did. I got some great coffee. Thank you very much. No. What I got, and I'm going to throw it like this out to you. It is a bitter sweetness, which if you want to translate that to an espresso or a bitter cocoa, that's
So
sort of.
I don't know if it was
It's like
coffee.
4 of us smoking here. Jesus, what the hell's going on?
So I don't know if it was either like the coffee that you had or that your mom had, but I got just a very light hint of like a dark roasted coffee.
Well, it's.
I don't know if it's like the aroma that was coming in from your coffee or hers.
It's something that I tell a lot of folks, a classic flavor that is usually prevalent in a lot of, doesn't matter what the blends are, but you always pick up a little bit what they call the darker flavors, like those cocos, those espressos, the dark leather, the woody aging aspect.
I got
of
a
that.
lot of wood and nuttiness.
Don't tell me about that. How much wood you got? I don't give a shit about how much. You hear him? I got a lot of wood. I'm like, that's why I'm crossing my legs. I'm like, I don't want nobody to see my wood. Anyways,
timber.
yeah.
Yeah.
But See, that's one of the things I like about it. For a cigar at that price, it's not like a one note. It's got some interesting things that are going on.
Mhm.
But then there's cigars that you're like, oh my god, this thing is just that was
Flat.
it. That was
Yeah.
wow, okay,
Right.
thanks. That's what I got out of it. I liked it. Mike, you good?
I'm great, but I don't have the sophisticated palate
Yeah,
speed.
I mean, I've been doing this for a lot longer, but I don't get it either.
Yeah.
I just pick up what I pick up. But
Mhm.
for $5, I think it's a great cigar. It's long
Like I
filler
said,
and
I've
roll.
had like 3 or 4 of these since you got them in.
So,
I mean, I'll definitely be smoking this one again.
on a happier note, we're about to leave you guys so you can enjoy the rest of the day. Mike, any last parting words for anyone? Anyone? Bueller? Feeler?
That was a good movie.
I love Ferris Bueller.
Yes, but we'll go with that.
With Matthew McConaughey?
No.
Really?
No. I forgot what it is now.
That
It's
was
like Matthew something.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High.
McConaughey was.
Yeah.
You're talking about
Matthew Broderick.
There you
I knew it
go.
was a Matthew. I knew there was a Matthew.
Jesus.
That was a Matthew in there, but I love that movie.
Matthew McConaughey does a lot of
I don't like
Very
Matthew
good.
McConaughey. And I'll tell you why I don't like him. I don't mean that I just sometimes he's got that like I want to hit him kind of like because I'm Matthew. Bro, I know you're Matthew McConaughey.
He's
Shut
like
up.
He's like a beach bum kind of guy. Like that's his whole.
He's like everything has happened to me so great, and I don't even strive, and I'm Matthew McConaughey. I'm like,
it's like
really?
you feel like you could fall into like a pile of dog shit and come out smelling like
And he's
roses.
No.
I'm Matthew McConaughey. I'm like, oh, I hate you. Now the reverse. I see now. I have the reverse to Matthew McConaughey. I love this guy. The reverse to Matthew McConaughey is my boy Keanu Reeves. He's like the yin to the yang. I love Keanu.
Yeah.
He's got his own motorcycle company.
Keanu
Yes, he
Reeves
does.
is a beast,
Yeah.
man. I dig that motherfucker. Not a fan of the latest Bill and Ted's. I think it was a bit of
Yeah,
a
that
flop.
was they were reaching on that.
Yeah, but John Wick, baby, all day. And he's got his own video game, which is awesome. Like, he's got a video game that he's like a cybernetic punk, like some weird shit, but it's doing pretty good too. I mean, he's not dumb, dude.
Mhm.
Fast Times at Ridgemont High. Anything?
That was a good movie. I liked it.
Good movie, I liked it. Anything for the people out there?
Ride well, raise hell, praise Dale.
Yes, Dale needs some praises. Me personally speaking, if you can wear orange, by all means do, because I love orange and I wear it well.
That's a great
Pierre
color.
Cardin. Remember?
Yeah, I
You
remember that.
wear it well.
I remember that.
Pierre Cardin.
It
Before
was
your
like
time.
early '90s.
Yeah, before your time.
Early 90s. I was born in 92.
Again, semi-times, semi-per times. Thank you, everybody. As always, thanks for putting up with all of the nonsense. Enjoy the rest of the day. Have a good one. I got to take a very beautiful woman shoe shopping. I'm not one of those guys that enjoys that, but you know what? For her, anything goes.
You know what? Get yourself a nice pair of heels.
Yeah, how are you going?
Fuck everybody, Everybody take care. Have a good one. God bless. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you guys next Wednesday. I'll be with you guys for a short little one. Don't get it twisted. On Monday, we'll see you guys. God bless. Take it easy and enjoy.